James Gordon MacArthur was an American actor best known for the role of Danno Williams, the reliable second-in-command of the fictional Hawaiian State Police squad in the long-running television series Hawaii Five-0. Early life: born in Los Angeles, California, MacArthur was the adopted son of playwright Charles MacArthur and his wife, actress Helen Hayes. He grew up in Nyack, New York, along with the MacArthur's biological daughter, Mary. He was educated at Allen Stevenson School in New York, and later at the Solibury School in New Hope, Pennsylvania, where he starred in basketball, football and baseball. In his final year at Solibury, MacArthur played guard on the football team, captained the basketball team, was president of his class, the student government, and the drama club. Rewrote the school's constitution, edited the school paper, The Scribe, and played Scrooge in a local presentation of A Christmas Carol. He also started dating a fellow student, Joyce Beliphant. They were married in November 1958 and divorced 9 years later. MacArthur grew up around the greatest literary and theatrical talent of the time. Lillian Gish was his godmother, and his family's guests included Ben Hecht, Harpo Marx, Robert Benchley, Beatrice Lillie, John Barrymore, and John Steinbeck. His first radio role was on the Theatre Guild on the Air, in 1948. Theatre Guild on the Air was the premier radio program of its day, producing one-hour plays that were performed in front of a live audience of 800. Helen Hayes accepted a role in one of the plays, which also had a small part for a child. Her son was asked if he would like to do it, and agreed. Acting career: MacArthur made his stage debut at Olney, Maryland in 1949, with a 2-week stint in the Corners Green. His sister Mary was in the play and telephoned their mother to request that James go to Olney to be in it with her. The following summer, he repeated the role at Dennis, Massachusetts, and his theatrical career was underway. In 1954, he played John Day in Life with Father with Howard Lindsay and Dorothy Stickney. He became involved in important Broadway productions only after receiving his training in summer stock theater. MacArthur also worked as a set painter, lighting director and chief of the parking lot. During a Helen Hayes festival at the Falmouth Playhouse on Cape Cod, he had a few walk-on parts. He also helped the theater electrician and grew so interested that he was allowed to stay on after his mother's plays had ended. As a result, he lighted the show for Barbara Bel Geddes in The Little Hut and for Gloria Vanderbilt in The Swan. When he visited Paris with his mother as a member of the Skin of Our Teeth Company, he was in charge of making thunder backstage with a sheet of metal. At the age of 18, he played Hal Dittmer in the television play, Deal a Blow, directed by John Frankenheimer and starring MacDonald Carey, Phyllis Thaxter and Edward Arnold. In 1956, Frankenheimer directed the movie version of the play, which was renamed The Young Stranger, with MacArthur again in the starring role. Again his performance was critically acclaimed, earning him a nomination for Most Promising Newcomer at the 1958 BAFTA Awards. He made The Light in the Forest and Third Man on the Mountain, for Walt Disney, during summer breaks from Harvard University, where he was studying history. Deciding to make acting his full-time career, he left Harvard in his sophomore year to make 2 more Disney movies, Kidnapped and Swiss Family Robinson. MacArthur made his Broadway debut in 1960, playing opposite Jane Fonda in Invitation to a March, for which he received a Theatre World Award. Although he never returned to Broadway, he remained active in theatre, appearing in such productions as Under the Yum Yum Tree, The Moon is Blue, John Loves Mary, Barefoot in the Park and Murder at the Howard Johnsons. He also released several records in the early 1960s, scoring 2 minor hits with The Story of, The In-Between Years, and The 10 Commandments of Love, both of which peaked at number 94 in the Billboard Hot 100. He then went on to parts in movies including The Interns, Spencer's Mountain, The Truth About Spring and Cry of Battle, as well as The Lovins and The Angry Breed. On the set of The Angry Breed, in 1968, MacArthur met Melody Patterson, who was to become his second wife. They were married on the Hawaiian island of Kauai in July 1970 and divorced 5 years later. In 1963, He was nominated for the Top New Male Personality category of the Golden Laurel Awards. Between movie and theater roles, MacArthur was also in demand for television guest appearances, which included parts in Studio One, GE Theatre, Bus Stop the Play, Bus Stop the television series, Bonanza, Gunsmoke, Wagon Train, The 11th Hour, The Great Adventure, The Alfred Hitchcock Hour, Combat, The Virginian. In 1966 he guest-starred as Lieutenant Harley Wilson in The Outsider, episode 20 in the second season of 12 O'Clock High. He co-starred with his mother Helen Hayes in the 1968 episode The Pride of the Lioness on the Tarzan television series. MacArthur also gave a particularly chilling performance as baby-faced opium dealer Johnny Lubin in the Untouchables episode, Death for Sale. Though many his movie parts were not starring roles, and some were quite brief, they were usually pivotal to the plot. His role in the Bedford incident was that of a young ensign who becomes so rattled by the needling of his captain that he accidentally fires an ASROC at a Soviet submarine, thus creating a nuclear incident when the submarine returns fire, resulting in the destruction of both vessels. In Battle of the Bulge he again played the role of a young and inexperienced officer. This time, however, the officer finds courage and a sense of responsibility. His brief but memorable appearance in the Clint Eastwood movie, Hang 'em High eventually led to his role as Dan Williams in Hawaii Five-0, popularizing the catchphrase Book 'em, Danno. Hawaii Five-0, in 1967, Leonard Freeman, the producer and co-writer of Hang 'em High, made the pilot for a new television cop show, Hawaii Five-0. Before it went to air, the pilot was well received by test audiences, except for some dislike of the actor playing Dan Williams. Freeman remembered MacArthur's portrayal of the traveling preacher in Hang 'em High. MacArthur had come on the set and done the scene in one take. He called MacArthur and offered him the role of Dan Williams. The show was popularized by its opening sequence and theme music and location filming in Hawaii. It was not in the top 30 in ratings until its second season, when it was rated number 19. For the next 5 seasons, the show's ratings were always in the top 10, topped by its number 3 rating and 25.2 share in 1972 €73. Many episodes would end with Hawaii Five-0 chief Steve McGarrett instructing Williams to book 'em, Danno, which became a well-known catchphrase in popular culture. Hawaii Five-0 was the longest-running TV crime drama until it was finally surpassed by Law & Order in 2003. MacArthur has said that one of his favorite episodes was OE Retire in Sunny Hawaii Forever which starred his mother, Helen Hayes. She played Danno unregistered trademark Aunt Clara, who visits Hawaii and helps the detectives solve a murder. Hawaii Five-0 ran for 12 years €11 with MacArthur. Leaving the show at the end of its 11th season, MacArthur returned to the theater, appearing in The Lunch Hour with Sybil Shepherd. Post-Hawaii Five-0, he appeared in A Bed Full of Foreigners in Chicago in 1984, and in Michigan in 1985. He followed this with A Hasty Heart, before taking a year out of show business. In 1987, he returned to the stage in The Foreigner, then played Mortimer in the national tour of Arsenic and Old Lace with Gene Stapleton, Marion Ross and Larry Storch. In 1989, he followed another stint in The Foreigner with Love Letters and, in 1990–1991, A Bed Full of Foreigners, this time in Las Vegas. After leaving Hawaii Five-0, MacArthur guest-starred on such television shows as Murder, She Wrote, The Love Boat, Fantasy Island and Vega Dollar, as well as in the miniseries Alcatraz, The Whole Shocking Story and The Night the Bridge Fell Down, and in the 1998 television movie Storm Chasers, Revenge of the Twister, with Kelly McGillis. Semi-retirement. Throughout his career, MacArthur had also found time for various other ventures. From 1959 to 1960, he partnered with actor James Franciscus and Alan Ladd, Jr. in a Beverly Hills telephone answering service. In June 1972, he directed the Honolulu Community Theater in a production of his father's play The Front Page. For a period in the 1990s he was part owner of Senior World Publication, as well as writing the occasional celebrity interview. He continued to appear at conventions, collectors' shows, and celebrity sporting events. A keen golfer, he was the winner of the 2002 Frank Sinatra Invitational Charity Golf Tournament. He also appeared in television and radio specials and interview programs. His latest appearances included spots on Entertainment Tonight, Christopher's Close-Up and the BBC Radio 5 live obituary programme Brief Lives, in which he paid tribute to his Hawaii Five-0 castmate, the late Cam Fong. In 1997, MacArthur returned without Jack Lord to reprise his character, who had become Hawaii's governor in the plot, in the 1997 on-aired pilot of Hawaii Five-0 which starred actor Gary Busey. In April 2003, he traveled to Honolulu's historic Hawaii Theatre for a cameo role in Joe Moore's play Dirty Laundry. Negotiations were underway in summer 2010 for MacArthur to make a cameo appearance in the new CBS primetime remake of Hawaii Five-0 at the time of his death, a role that eventually was given to Al Harrington. On the November 1, 2010 episode, MacArthur's death was mentioned in a short tribute that played before the start of that episode. In 2001, a Golden Palm Star on the Palm Springs, California, Walk of Stars was dedicated to him. Death: MacArthur died of natural causes on October 28, 2010, at the age of 72, at the Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville, Florida. At the time of death he was a resident of Palm Desert, California. He was survived by his third wife, former LPGA golfer Helen Beth Dance, of 25 years, and his 4 children, Charles Pete MacArthur, Mary McClure, Juliet Rappaport, and James D. MacArthur, and 7 grandchildren. His daughter Juliet was married to Beverly Hills real estate broker Kurt Rappaport. He is interred in Nyack, New York's Oak Hill Cemetery. The episode Hūpono from the 2010 version of Hawaii Five-0 was dedicated to MacArthur. Filmography. References. External links, official website, James MacArthur at the Internet Movie Database, James MacArthur at the Internet Broadway Database.